Joe DeMarco, chiropractor and owner of OcraMed Health. Important video today because we're going to go over a problem that affects millions of people, but the good news is that it's fixable and it's avoidable. But before we get into today's material, if you haven't done so already, take a moment right now. I really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, OcraMed Health on YouTube. Click that little bell notification. It notifies you every time I upload a new video. And at the end of today's video, if you found the information helpful, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. So loss of thoracic mobility is a huge problem. I've been practicing for over 32 years, and I can tell you it's a huge problem for adults. And I'm not talking about 80-year-olds. I'm talking about young adults start having problems with loss of thoracic mobility. 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, they start having problems with it. And the sad thing is that if they don't do anything about it, if they leave it unattended, it's just going to get worse as they get older. And it doesn't have to be, because this is a problem that's avoidable and it's fixable. So the thoracic spine is the middle portion of the spine. It's the largest portion. There's 12 vertebrae in here that make up the thoracic spine, unlike 7 cervical and 5 lumbar. And the cervical spine and the lumbar spine both curve, as you can see, in this direction. The thoracic spine goes in this direction. And what direction is that? That's the position that we're in when we're at our desk, we're on our computer, we're on our phone. It's that poor posture position that we go into anyways, and the spine is already curved in that direction, and over time, as the supporting musculature gets weak from lack of use, it just tends to want to go more and more forward. The vertebrae they get locked up in there, they lose mobility, and it becomes a very stiff part of the spine. And why does that cause a problem? Well, for a couple different things. One, that stiffness and loss of mobility in that thoracic spine, because that's not moving well, translates stress up into the neck, it translates stress into the lower back, and that increase in stress in both areas start causing neck problems, low back problems that can often be traced back to the loss of mobility in the thoracic spine. Other thing, people that go to work out, you're working out, you're doing movements that maybe you've been doing for years, shoulder presses, but now as that thoracic mobility becomes less and less, you're more stuck in this position and you just can't seem to press as well overhead, putting more stress into the shoulders, into the upper back, causing injuries that you never had before, but you're starting to have now as an adult. All avoidable. We can fix all of this. It just requires a little effort and time on your part. So what I'm going to do today is I want to share with you what I do every day before I work out. It's just part of my warm-up routine. I work on my thoracic mobility because I know that at 59 years old, if I don't do this, I'm going to run into problems as I get older. And so I want to avoid these type of problems. So I'm going to share with you the techniques I use to do it. Now, I do it before I work out every day. So at the very least, and I know I exercise every day. So at the very least, you should at least do it on the days that you go to the gym. Now, if you only go into the gym once or twice a week, you know what? One, you need to go to the gym more because once or twice a week is not enough. But also, if you're only going to the gym once or twice a week, then you need to find a couple other days to work on this, because you should be doing this type of work at minimum 3 or 4 days a week. If you can't do it every day, you should be doing it at least 3 or 4 times a week, okay? So for our thoracic mobility work today, I'm going to be introducing a new product from OcraMed Health. It's our Spinal Rejuvenator. It's a roller specially designed for that work in the thoracic spine. Now why? If you took a regular flat roller and you were to lie on top of it, it would be pressing right into the bones of the thoracic spine. It'd be very uncomfortable. However, I find this roller, the Rejuvenator, perfectly contoured to fit the spine in that curvature of the roller, while the outside of the roller does its job, and you'll see in a second why, as far as loosening up the thoracic spine. It also has a nice texture to it, so it massages the muscles as we use it. It's lightweight, it's firm, but there's enough give to it so that it's comfortable to use. And I'm going to be demonstrating all of my thoracic mobility techniques with the Spinal Rejuvenator. Now, we don't have this in stock yet. It should be in stock soon. So we are doing a pre-order sale on the Rejuvenator. If you order it before, we should have it in stock in the next couple weeks. So if you order in the next couple weeks before we get it in, we're doing a special where it's going to come with a free Tai Chi ball, a regular size Tai Chi massage ball. It's going to come with a free massage ball. And it also comes with a free instructional video on how to use it for thoracic mobility. And also I'll show you how to use it in a couple other areas of the body. It's actually good for you doing work on your forearms and your calves. So anyways, the Spinal Rejuvenator, let me show you how we're going to do it, how we're going to use it for thoracic mobility. Okay, so a couple quick things before you get started with the Rejuvenator. One is, don't do this work first thing in the morning straight out of bed. You need to be warmed up. Like I said, I do this as part of my warm-up routine before I work out. So I've already been up for a while, and also I do some previous warm-ups before I even get to this section of my warm-ups with the Rejuvenator. So don't do this cold right out of bed. You gotta get some blood flowing. The second thing is, we have patients that are already at the point where their thoracic spine is so tight, they're rounded forward quite a bit. And it would be very uncomfortable for those people to get on the floor with the Rejuvenator to start the work that I'm going to show you. And if that's the case, if you're dealing with already a position where you're already kind of in this poor posture, kind of stuck position, I want you to do everything I'm showing you today just up against the wall with the Rejuvenator. So I don't want you lying on it. I want you to just go up against the wall, and you can kind of mimic what I'm going to show you in a second by doing it up against the wall. So if you can try it on the ground at first, but if it feels really, really uncomfortable to get on the ground with this, use the wall for a while. And as your thoracic spine increases in mobility and you restore mobility, eventually you'll be able to work this on the ground as I show you now, okay? So I get on the ground, knees are bent, back is going to be flat. So don't have the back arch. Try to keep the back flat the best you can during this, okay? There's going to be times when you're going to feel like you want to arch, but do the best you can to try to keep the back flat. Now, we're going to start at the top of the thoracic spine. Now, how do you know where to place this at first? If you feel back here on the base of your neck and at the top of the thoracic spine, the largest vertebra that you feel back here, and people oftentimes will come into my office and say, is there something wrong with my back? I got this big bump on the back of my neck. That's normal. That's the C7 vertebra, the bottom cervical vertebra, C7, has the largest spinous process, which is the back of the vertebra, and it tends to stick out. More so on some than others. Some people have a really prominent C7, some people don't, but it's a pretty prominent vertebra. You can feel it back here, and if you press around back here, you find that largest, bumpiest vertebra, more than likely that's C7. And since that's the bottom of the cervical spine, we're going to place the Rejuvenator right underneath that at T1, okay? So feel back here on your neck, find that largest vertebra, that bump, that C7, come back here, place the Rejuvenator right underneath it, and that's where the starting position is going to be, kind of that T1 area. So I'm going to have you lie back like this. Now, once again, if you have some loss of mobility and you feel really stiff and you can't put your head back on the floor, that's okay. Put a small pillow back there to support your head until you increase your mobility, okay? So I'm going to lie back like this, and I have the device behind my neck or behind my upper back. And from this position, I'm going to keep my back flat. I'm going to stretch my arms out to the side. Then I'm going to stretch them back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up and try to stretch my hands towards the shoulder, to the ceiling. And then I'm going to let them nice and easy come down. And then I'm going to come back out like this again. And I'm just going to repeat. I'm going to come out this way. I'm going to come up. I'm going to stretch my hands towards the ceiling. I'm going to let them come down. I'm going to bring them down again. And I'm going to do that for about 30 seconds. And as I'm doing it, I'm going to be breathing deeply, trying to relax. Sometimes what I do is I will wiggle around on it a little bit too. If you feel a little pop, a little crack, that's okay. It's just some release. It's releasing. The spine is you're getting some release in those stiff vertebrae. So that's okay. Don't worry about a small crack or pop. And after about 30 seconds, I'm just going to get the Rejuvenated down about an inch or so to the next level. So I'm going to push it down a little bit. If you want, you can just kind of roll back a little bit, but just go about an inch. And again, just relax the arms back. Again, bring them out this way. Relax, breathe, bring the arms up, stretch up towards the ceiling, and then let the shoulders come down, and then come back out. And again, 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, I'm going to roll up again another inch or so. Now you might hit certain areas as you're rolling up that really give you like a zinger. Like you might hit a muscle knot, you might hit a really stiff part. And if you come across an area like that, that's okay. I mean, just try to do the best you can to relax, to breathe, and just, sometimes I'll roll up an area, and if it is particularly uncomfortable for a second, I just try to breathe through it and just let it relax. And eventually, after a few seconds, a lot of times, the Rejuvenator will kind of sink in, everything will relax, and then you can continue on with the motions of the arms, stretching up, bringing them back, out to the side, and just try to relax. And the further you go up, the more your back might feel like it wants to arch off the ground. So just keep trying to concentrate on keeping the back flat on the ground. It's okay if it comes up a little bit, but I just want you to be conscious that you want to try to keep the back flat on the ground. And I'm going to just keep making these 1-inch increments up, just like that. And like I said, the more you go down the thoracic spine, it might feel a little more uncomfortable, I feel a little tight, and it's okay. At the beginning, maybe you only want to do 3 or 4 shifts with the Rejuvenator. Maybe only go down an inch, 3 or 4 inches, and then stop for the day and try to do more the next day. So you don't have to do the entire thoracic spine the very first time you're on this thing. At the beginning, maybe only do, like T1 through T4 or 5. Like just make like 3 or 4 changes in go up only 3 or 4 inches. And then maybe next week or tomorrow, go another inch down, and so slowly try to work it. Eventually we want to be able to do this so that we're going to roll all the way down, kind of below the shoulder blades, the level of the shoulder blades. You're going to get down into that area. And so be careful when you get down that area. Once again, just make sure that it's comfortable, make sure you can be relaxed, and just keep repeating the process as you work your way down, okay? But don't rush it. This isn't something that, you have to feel like you got to loosen up that thoracic spine in one session with the Rejuvenator. Rome wasn't built in a day. I want you to go slowly. I want you to only do partial areas at first. I want you to, if something's really, really uncomfortable, it's okay, work on it tomorrow, maybe it'll feel better. So that's the first technique we're going to do. The second technique is after you've done that, I want you to come back to the beginning again. And again, get back up at that T1 area, the top of the thoracic spine. And on this session of movements, what I want you to do is from here, I want you to actually put more body weight into it by lifting the hips up like that. And in this position, and I have my back flat, I'm not arched or anything, just try to keep it straight, flat like this. And this is now I'm putting more pressure down. You get more of a massage out of this. And on this, on these maneuvers, what I want you to do is once you're in this position, I just want you to kind of roll back and forth on the Rejuvenator for about 30 seconds, just like that, back and forth. And after about 30 seconds, come down, go up another inch, lift the hips up, and again, roll back and forth. On this particular technique, this is where you might feel a little pop, a little crack as you do it, okay? Come back down, roll up another inch, lift the hips up, 30 seconds. And as I'm rolling back and forth, just small motions like this, rocking back and forth, I'm going to concentrate on my breathing. Once again, at the beginning, you may only want to go down, make 3 or 4 little movements down with the Rejuvenator. As it gets more and more comfortable, more and more mobility, you can go further and further down. It is an absolute game changer. It feels so awesome. It's just when you get done, you feel so much looser. At the beginning, it may tighten back up sooner than later, but that's okay. This is why this is something I want you doing on a regular basis. If it's not every day, it's a minimum 3 or 4 times a week. Anyways, give those techniques a try. I think you're going to really enjoy them. All right, so get working on these techniques. This is going to make a world of difference in your life by working on this mobility. It's going to make a huge difference between the ages of 40 or 50 to the ages of 80. By having mobility in the thoracic spine, you're going to change your life. It's that simple. It's going to make you feel years and years younger. You're going to feel like you can do more. You're going to stay healthy. You're going to avoid a lot of pain and problems. And it's such a simple solution. So, as I was saying, there's a pre-order. Go to www.OcraMedHealth.com. Pre-order the Spinal Rejuvenator. It comes with the free Tai Chi, regular size Tai Chi ball, and it has a free instructional video. So do the pre-order. We should have these in about a week or 2. So maybe by the first week of November, they should be out, ready to ship out, okay? So anyways, check them out, go to the website, and pick one up. If you haven't done so already, take a moment right now, subscribe to my channel, OcraMed Health on YouTube. Questions about exercise or injuries, just leave me a comment in the comment section down below. I do the best I can to get back to everybody. And don't forget, OcraMed Health is here to keep you fit forever.